You're listening to Tassie Encounters Moments on Faith FM, and we're coming to you from Tasmania, right across Australia. Each weekday at 9 a.m, you can hear what the Bible says about past, current and future events. You can learn how to study the Bible more effectively. You can get to know who God is, why we're here and where we're going. And you can experience personal encounters with Jesus. I'm your host, Jason Cook. And today, David Leo joins us for the last time this week. We've been talking about hedonism and apathy. And we've talked about a whole bunch of different things this week. David had looked at what hedonism was all about, but we're really looking at the fact that this is a challenge of our modern day living, isn't it? The tug of the modern soul. And I think ultimately, deep down, we're all seeking meaning and purpose in life.
That's right.
But some try to perhaps squash the pain of not feeling that with hedonism, with seeking pleasure.
Yes.
Some by just being completely apathetic.
Yep, avoid it altogether.
Avoidance tactic. But we really want to talk about today how we can reawaken that passion. Yeah. Reawaken the soul.
Yesterday we talked about meaning and responsibility. And when you talk about meaning and responsibility, some of you have already, you have, and the listener that's listening to this, you've all experienced that when you start pursuing a purpose, it's not easy, right? It's not a difficult thing. You start feeling the pain and suffering and the kickbacks, when you try and change things up. For example, in my role as a youth director, this is my third year, right? So I'm trying new things, right? And I knew that trying new things, there's going to be people saying, hey, this is not how we've done it before. We've always done it this way, and I knew it was coming. But because you're trying new things and you're taking responsibility, it is going to come with it, with things that are good. One of them was Adventure Fun Day that we just had. I think I might have talked about it last week. That was a big hit, but that was trying to change the mind, some parents are like, what's that? And now that they've seen it, they're like, oh, we like that. So it's a great thing, but it's not always that way. I tried to do something last year that flopped. And so, with the change and responsibility comes some of those failures, comes some of those successes. And, Jesus, when you choose to be a disciple, we've said all week, John 10 verse 10, Jesus said, I came to give you life and life abundantly. Right? Actually, let's say the whole thing. The thief came to steal and to destroy, but I came to give you life and life abundantly. That's what Jesus says. And being a disciple of Jesus, when you're called to discipleship, it's not when you talk about meaning and purpose, I mean, look where Jesus ended up, right? Jesus ended up dying on the cross. Wow, it didn't stay there, right? He rose again and he's promised to return again. This is a huge statement and narrative that all disciples hold on to. Every follower, every believer holds on to this hope. But when you become a disciple, there's a difference between a believer and a disciple. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
A believer can be apathetic. So I choose to believe in Jesus and not do anything about it. But a disciple, on the other hand, is a very different thing. And there's a story in Mark 10. And the story in Mark 10, it's often referred to as the rich young ruler.
Ah, yes.
And he sees Jesus blessing the children, and he wants to be blessed as well. And he runs to Jesus and asks Jesus, what do I need to do to inherit eternal life? And Jesus rattles off every Jew knows this. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your
I don't think Jesus rattled it off. I think Jesus asked him the question.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. What do you know? How do you read it? And he rattles off exactly how he's trained to say it, right? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, love your neighbor as yourself. And she's like, yes, you've done all these things. Fantastic. But you lack one thing, right? And the man was like, what? Oh, I thought I had it sorted. I thought my life was good. And he says, yes, sell all your possessions and then come
and follow me.
And follow me.
I was actually wrong. It was Jesus who said, you know the commandments.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was the guy who said
Yeah, so did I, actually. When you corrected me, I thought, okay, all right. So it was Jesus that said it, and then he says, oh, I've done all these things, right? And the sad ending to the story is, at the very end, verse 22, it says, disheartened by this, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions.
Because that's where he found his pursuit of happiness and pleasure and whatever, was to be wealthy and to be rich. And,
and the call to meaning and responsibility was too hard. And that's the call for discipleship. You know, and the example here is not all of us are called to sell our possessions, right? Not all of us chase hedonism or pleasure the same way. But this person in particular, Jesus knew his heart. And so he called him right to where his heart was and said, this is what you need to do. In Luke 9, verse 36, Jesus says, take up your cross and come and follow me. Actually, did you want to read that?
That's not 9:36. That must be a different passage referring to. 9:36 says.
Oh no, that's
voice
right.
Had spoken.
Okay.
do you want me to find the other one?
Yes, please. But the call to discipleship that Jesus says to his disciples when they're asking him, you know, where are you going? We want to follow you.
Luke 9:23. It was just a few verses earlier.
Thank you. Luke 9:23. And so what the same thing he did to this rich young ruler that the rich young ruler was unable to carry through. He says it to each and every one of us. He says to the disciples, but this is the invitation to anyone that wants to follow Jesus. Do you want to read that, please, Jason?
Yeah, it says in Luke 9:23, and he said to all, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily and follow me. Actually,
read 24 and 25. I think it's really relevant to what we're talking about.
For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will save it. For what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses or forfeits himself?
Wow, that's really to the point, isn't it?
That is the point.
And being a disciple, taking up the cross, whatever that may be, maybe the cross is your pursuit of career. Your perhaps it is like we've talked in the last few days, the device. Like if you were to see how many hours, if you were consciously to write down how many hours am I spending on Instagram or YouTube and whatnot, and you wrote it down, maybe that's where you need to be disrupted, you know, and whatever it may be, Jesus asks, take that cross up, deny yourself, deny all those things that you seek pleasure in, and look for me.
And ultimately it's about the thing that is getting in the way, isn't it? It's the thing that's blocking you from having that abundant life that he's talking about. You're trying to fulfill a hole with something that's not going to fulfill it.
Yeah, it's the modern idols.
That's the only thing that I don't know who said this, but God never asks us to give up anything that's not good for us or that is good for us.
God never asks us to give
up anything that's good for us.
Yes. Okay, that's true, isn't it? That's very true. And you know, one of the great promises of taking up the cross and following Jesus, because, and I know this firsthand from my own personal experience, because one of the biggest things that I really found hard was when Jesus asked me to disconnect myself from the friends that were, you know, that were influencing me. Should I say influencing? Those are the friends that
leading you somewhere.
Yeah, well, they weren't even leading me. I was just part of that group. You know, this is the group that I went out with on a Saturday night. This is the group that we partied together. This is the group that I had discussions that weren't very Christian based, you know, and in circles and relationships that were around this group. And Jesus made it very clear to me, Dave, if I'm to speak to you and work in your life, you need to stop hanging out in this particular group. You need to start hanging out more with this community. This is where I'm going to be able to feed you. And that was tough. That was one of the crosses I had to take up, because I love my friends. And what was funny, Jason, like 2 years later, the call was very clear. Go tell your friends. Connect with those friends again and tell them what you've been going through. Tell them what you and me have been. I thought, wow, that's great. When I look at it now, I realized he did the same thing with Paul. Right, took Paul out of the thing, then threw him back out into the world and said, "Hey, go tell everyone." And so whatever that cross that Jesus is calling you to do, there is a promise in Psalms 37. I'm hoping this is correct. I'm hoping my brain's working, working a little bit. Please, Lord, help this to be the Psalms 37 verse 4. Oh, praise Him. Thank you.
You got it right.
Yes. He can read that for us.
It says, delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart.
Interesting, right? Delight yourself in the Lord. So here's the thing. Jesus says, take up your cross and follow me, right? Taking up that cross is not easy. Denying yourself is not easy. Putting away the things, your friends, whatever it's the devices, the alcohol, the dream job that you you think is fulfilling your life, putting that away seems very difficult. But the promise is when you follow Jesus and you delight in Him, then you will receive the desires of your heart. It's like we have to get rid of this out of the way to make us realize this is actually what I really need, right? And so I just want to encourage you when you're thinking, oh man, I have to give up this and give up that and do this. You're moving into meaning and purpose and finding that vacuum that needs to be fulfilled in Jesus Christ. And that's exactly what we need, right? We need Jesus, the one who promised to give us life and life abundantly, and that's where the excitement lies. That's where I think we can really counter this hedonism and apathetic state that's being, I was going to say pushed, that we are being conditioned into, where we're just moseying into this condition. But let's not get fooled by the trap.
Absolutely. Thank you, David. It's been an interesting discussion this week. And last chance to claim our book offer for this week is coming up.
This program is made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.
Our book offer this week is Steps to Christ. This is by Ellen G. White. Thousands have become acquainted with Jesus through this little book, Steps to Christ, and it has helped many more, including those who have walked with Him for years, to know Him better. In just 13 short chapters, you'll discover the steps to finding a forever friendship with Jesus. You'll read about His love for you, repentance, faith and acceptance, growing like Him, the privilege of prayer, and what to do with doubt, and how to spend your days rejoicing in your best friend, Jesus. So that's our book offer today, 0488 880 891 is our show number, and you can text in this code, TEM28, Tassie Encounters Moments 28, 28. TEM28. Text that into 0488 880 891. Thank you for joining us this week, and we hope that you have been inspired to be more passionate about your relationship with God and to remove some of the things that are distracting you from that relationship. This is Ginny Owens with Don't Waste Your Life. May you encounter Jesus more today and each day.
I've been trying to make a living, but I haven't got a life. Chasing dreams with tunnel vision. I'm running out of time. Somewhere I lost what I've been missing. I look but never find. I never find. Stop long enough to pray for wisdom, and I waited for an answer. Opened up my heart to listen. What is it I'm here for? And in the noise of all my questions, I finally heard a whisper, a still small whisper. Don't waste your life wishing, hoping, waiting for a better day. You know that would be a shame. Shine, shine your light bigger, brighter, for the whole world to see. Play your part in history. Don't waste your life. So I'm making this my mission. Oh, I made up my mind. Even I can make a difference, one story at a time. When I forget what I've been given, I can always find a lesson lesson in these lines. Don't waste your life wishing, hoping, waiting for a better day. It would be a crying shame. Shine, shine your light bigger, brighter, for the whole world to see. Or play your part in history. So don't waste your life. Don't waste your life. And every choice that you make, and every chance that you take. Don't waste your life. And every prayer that you pray, and every I love you that you say. Don't waste your life. And when you find yourself afraid, just repeat this simple phrase. Don't waste your life wishing, hoping, waiting for a better day. Trust me, that would be a shame. Shine, shine your light bigger, brighter, for the whole world to see. I'll play a part in history. Don't waste your life. Yeah, don't waste your life.
This program has been made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.